I'm Young Buzz. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the hottest K-pop stories. And today, Twice didn't just perform in Chicago. They literally lit the whole city on fire. Not literally, of course, but let me tell you, the energy was absolutely insane. So let's talk about what just happened at Lollapalooza Chicago. On August 3rd, Twice took the stage at Grant Park in Illinois for one of the biggest music festivals in the US. And guess what? They weren't just there as another act. Nope. Twice was the only K-pop group to headline the festival. Let that sink in for a second. Headlining with Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, A$AP Rocky. That's the kind of elite company they're in now. And listen, I know a lot of people always debate who the top girl groups are right now, and I get it. The competition is fierce. But if this performance proved anything, it's that Twice is in a league of their own. Global reach, stage presence, and now, festival headlining status. Grant Park that night, a sea of candy bongs. You already know Twice fans don't play. The moment the girls walked out on stage, the crowd erupted. And I mean erupted. There were screams, light sticks waving, and this huge wave of energy you could feel just through the clips alone. Like if you were there, I'm pretty sure you were levitating. They opened with The Feels, their first full English single, and honestly, what a perfect choice. It's catchy, it's confident, and the lyrics are literally made for a Western festival crowd. If you've ever been to a concert and heard thousands of people singing, "Boy, I know you got the feels" in perfect sync, then you already know how powerful that moment must have been. After that, back-to-back hits. More and More, What Is Love, songs that everyone knows, even casual fans. But here's the twist. This wasn't just a typical set with a backing track. Twice performed with a live band. And let me tell you, that changed the game. It wasn't just a concert, it was an experience. The live instrumentation added this rich, full sound that made the songs feel almost brand new. And the girls, they owned that stage. They were literally running it, interacting with fans, hitting choreo, live vocals on point. It was polished, powerful, and personal. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. In the middle of this killer set, we got a surprise. Songs from the Netflix animated movie K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, you heard me right. Twice members Junghyun, Jihyo, and Chaeyoung performed Takedown, a song from the film's OST. And here's the fun part. The song is sung by fictional characters Rumi, Joy, and Mira in the movie. But when the girls performed it live, it was like those characters came to life. And fans who already watched the film, mind blown. It was creative, unexpected, and honestly, a genius move. That crossover between K-pop and animated media? We're gonna be seeing more of it. Mark my words. They also performed another OS track called Strategy. And by this point, it just felt like Twice was flexing at this point. Like, oh, you thought we were done? Nope, here's another banger. Before I go on with what else they did and what it means for Twice's future, I wanna hear from you. If you were at Lolla, drop your experience in the comments. Or, if you watched the live stream or saw clips online, tell me which performance gave you chills. Because for me, it was seeing the feels explode across that ocean of fans. Like, wow, K-pop really made it to Lolla. Also, real talk, do you think this makes Twice the global girl group right now? Or is there still a race going on between them and other fourth-gen groups? I've got some thoughts on that, but I'll get into it in a bit. But back to the show. Let's be honest, when Twice said, "This is our first festival stage," you could feel how emotional it was for them. You could hear it in their voices, especially when they said, "We'll never forget this moment." And honestly, same. Fans won't forget it either. Now, Twice didn't end things there. They left us with a promise. We'll be back with good news, music, and a world tour. You heard it, a world tour. All right, I'm gonna go deeper into that promise, what it could mean, and how it ties into their recent moves with Republic Records, their US promotions, and what we might be seeing from Twice in 2026 and beyond in the next part of this video. But first, take a second, breathe, and if you haven't already, like the video, sub to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss what I'm about to say next, because this is where it gets juicy. So let's talk about that last line again. I'll be back with good news, music, and a world tour. That wasn't just a throwaway comment. That was a tease, a promise. And for longtime uns, we know what that means. Think about it. Twice is clearly ramping up their Western exposure. This Lollapalooza headlining gig? That's not something JYP or Republic Records would casually throw into the mix. It's strategic. They're testing the waters for more than just a world tour. They're building toward full global domination. And you know what? It's working. Now I want to pause for a second and ask you guys, do you think this marks a new era for Twice? Because I've been thinking about this a lot. We're not just seeing a group that's continuing what they've always done. This is evolution. You've got more English releases, international collaborations, Netflix tie-ins, and now this major festival headlining moment. If Twice in 2018 was peak K-pop in Asia, Twice in 2025 might just be peak global pop. And I think we're going to see a lot of other K-pop groups following this blueprint. Live instrumentation, cross-media tie-ins, English singles with mass appeal. Twice is already laying the groundwork. Another point I want to bring up, and tell me if you agree, is how well they've aged as a group. Not just in terms of visuals or music, but their chemistry. Even with all the solo projects, the personal health breaks, and the sheer pressure of being a top girl group for almost a decade, they're still in sync. They look like they love performing together. When Jonghyun, Jihyo, and Chaeyoung did Takedown, it wasn't just 3 random members doing an extra song. It felt like a fun experiment, like they were genuinely enjoying trying something new. And fans picked up on that energy. You can see it all over social media. TikTok edits, fan cams, even people who aren't Twice stans saying, okay, maybe I've been sleeping on them. So here's a question I really want you guys to answer in the comments. Do you think this is Twice's peak or just the beginning of another level? Like, are we witnessing the second golden age of Twice? I personally think this might be Twice 2.0. Like how BTS had their turning point with the Billboard performances and Western award shows, Twice is having their version right now. But it's being done in their own unique way, less about dominating charts and more about presence, performance, legacy. Also, let's not sleep on the impact of performing at Lollapalooza. This isn't just a K-pop festival or a fan meet concert. This is a mainstream, multi-genre, global stage. You've got rock fans, indie lovers, EDM heads, and yes, K-pop stans, all in one place. And Twice walked out there and owned it. Now, here's a fun little thing I noticed. And again, tell me if you saw this too. During the set, the crowd wasn't just made up of once. There were clearly people seeing Twice live for the first time. And the reactions were pure shock. Like, wait, this is K-pop? Kind of shock. You can see the moment people became fans. And isn't that the power of a performance like this? You don't need a subtitle or background knowledge. Just lights, vocals, charisma, and vibes. That's all it takes. Before I wrap this up, I want to do a quick shout out to the stylists and stage designers. The outfits? Fire. The lighting? Perfectly timed. The stage layout? Big enough to feel like a stadium show, but still intimate. You could tell every detail was carefully crafted. Twice didn't just perform, they put on a show. That's a huge difference. All right, we've talked about the set list, the surprise OST tracks, the promise of new music and a world tour, and the sheer level up Twice is on right now. But let me leave you with one final thought. If a K-pop group can headline one of the biggest music festivals in the US, what's stopping them from headlining Coachella next? Or Glastonbury? Or even doing a stadium-only world tour? Because at this point, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. So drop your thoughts below. Did Twice just change the game again? What was your favorite moment from their Lolla stage? And if you could pick one song to add to their next set list, what would it be? I'll be reading your comments and replying to as many as I can. Let's talk about it. And of course, if you loved this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next K-pop deep dive. Until then, this has been Anyang Buzz, and I'll see you next time.